always a fun time. Oh, that's right. Lit. Okay.
What's up?
So we're gonna be in this room.
Okay.
As you can see, this room looks completely different.
Yeah.
Go ahead, start
Okay.
in there. All right. We should be fine now.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so back to the match between Eon and JLo. I am Rhythm. You are Hangman. We were talking about earlier that people want to play new characters, it seems, for the new game. Just try out how all the different players, or the different characters work with the new mechanics. Ooh, look at that back air, real strong.
Yeah, Robin's looking fantastic in this game.
I think the UI of having all the tomes and 11 sword counter, I think some Robin players kind of don't love it because it means that now you can see how much they have left with their 11 swords, see how much you have left with like your Thunder Fire tomes. But I think it's actually a really interesting and really pretty improvement visually. So I have nothing to complain about there. I also don't use Robin, so.
Word. I know we do have a local Robin player. He used to play mostly Bayonetta because Robin was just struggling in Smash 4. But now the tables are sort of turned as far as those characters are concerned, and Robin sits with a ton of kill power and has always been able to contest for stage control because just tons of projectiles. But now she has also really strong tools as get off me options, basic combo tools that are going to lead into tons of damage, and she has no trouble with securing a kill.
Yeah, and you want to talk about get off me options for Robins. One of the new changes to the character, and the biggest change arguably, is the fact that Levin Sword now has a Nair. So before you couldn't do a Nair with the Levin Sword, you'd have to use the Bronze Sword. But now because she can Nair with the Levin Sword, she has a stronger get off me option. All of her other aerials hit either in front of her, in back of her, on top of her, or down, depending on the direction. But Nair covers a space that Robin couldn't previously cover with a strong attack because Bronze Sword obviously weaker than Levin Sword. So that's a big improvement, but that SD is not an improvement from Smash 4, I would say.
Definitely. Although Eon can take anything he can get right now as he's down a game. And Belmont, I feel, can control space really well. They have a ton of really nice projectiles, and the whip has an immense amount of power at the end of it. However, if you're fighting another zoning character, it's kind of difficult to win that war of attrition just because Belmont is typically slower. Their projectiles are a lot more linear in what they cover, whereas Robin has always been very creative with what they can do, whether it's L-Fire, any of the Thunder Tomes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that idea that the Belmonts are going to have to play just as varied a zoning gameplay to get in and ultimately to get their hits against a character like Robin is important. Because you see, like, the cross, the Holy Cross goes only forward and backwards. The axe covers a very specific arc, and same with the Holy Water. And so if you're not varying your projectile placements, you are going to struggle a lot. Versus a character like Robin who can really, she can vary all of her Thunder Tomes. Nosferatu is a little move that you might not see often, but in close range it might have a different effect. And so I think that one thing Eon is going to have to do is vary his projectile placement, or he's going to have a lot of trouble. Wow, that recovery is so much better than in Smash 4. Robin.
Height, man.
And now you can angle it too. That's another big change for Robin. Some really nice quality of life changes for the character. Down air. Down air is a great move on shield because it acts like bouncing fish, where it bounces right off of the shield, and I think that the Belmonts can use that a lot in case you have a shield-happy character or a shield-happy player. Ooh, not going to combo off of that Holy Cross.
Like, generally speaking, shields feel like they're a lot less worthwhile using than in previous iterations of Smash, except for maybe Smash 64, which has a hilariously bad shield mechanic.
Yeah, you know, I think Sakurai and the dev team probably saw that in general, shield was such just a really strong option in Smash 4, and so they did a few things to change the way shield works. The new parry mechanic, which we can talk about in a little bit, but also something that I find really important is the fact that they decreased the strength of the shield, essentially, so you'll take more shield damage from every hit in the game than you would have in the previous iteration. So I think that's a really big change that makes shield a lot weaker of an option, but also something that you can use more sparingly to a stronger effect. So now JLo has to make this comeback. 49%. Eon's not in danger of dying from anything yet, but a big Robin combo into a finisher with 11 sword might spell doom if Eon isn't careful. So we'll see what JLo does here. Ooh, trapped at the ledge. The Belmonts are so good at this oppressive ledge play. Oh.
Especially on Pokemon Stadium, too. It's a stage that lends itself very well to edge guarding, and I feel like that's going to be one of the strongest factors of the Belmonts. Like, once people really get a feel for how their tools work. It's worth remembering that this is release weekend. Like, this game just came out, and this is a lot of people's first times playing the game at all.
Mm-hmm. You're getting people that are... this is essentially theory crafting the tournament, because you're getting so many people that are trying things with characters they might never have played before, or at least haven't played in this style, and they're just trying things that they think might work. And we're going to see what theory crafting works the best. JLo with the recovery. As we were talking about earlier, that arc... Oh, wow! Lands and goes for that forward smash. What I was going to talk about was that Elwind, actually, from Robin, now has a lot more range and can be angled, so Robin's recovery is a little bit better. Though one of the other changes to Robin is on her Arc Thunder, which is actually a negative change, where Arc Thunder now has significantly less stun. Before, Arc Thunder would catch you forever, but now it doesn't have the same effect.
It is worth noting, though, that Arc Thunder has this thing where, like, it holds people in place, and you can alter the angle that they're flying if you hit them quick enough.
Really, can you?
Yeah, so this was a big factor of what made Robin good in Smash 4, was that you can drastically alter where someone's going to fly out of Arc Thunder.
Oh, yeah, with
completely
down
wreck
air.
someone's DI.
Mm-hmm.
You could still do that in this game, it's just you have to be a bit more precise, and the angles are different. I don't know how or why, but a lot of the angling is very different from how it would interact. So say, for instance, you hit Arc Thunder and down air.
Yeah.
Now it sends slightly upwards.
Okay, versus before where it was at like a negative 20-degree angle where it would go like that. So that I think that change is important because you'll catch people who think,